in the beginning, and it was in the midst of a revolutionary 60s, Arthur Janov thought that coming to the real self had always to be done with force and violence. It's a quote. That is, that clients' defenses had to be removed forcefully with the help of techniques like sleep deprivation, isolation, deep breathing, and busting the client with some provocative comments. This approach looked very attractive, dramatic, and logical. We must use force to break down the defenses of neurosis in order to get to something so precious and newly discovered like real self. It took some time before Janov realized that to break strong neurotic defenses, it is better to use love, my interpretation, than pressure. What a new discovery it was! To treat the consequences of lack of love. It is more effective to use love than fear. In my book, The Healing Power of Feelings, in 2012, I wrote that the main goal of the therapist was to remind the client of love. I had that idea in mind for many years before the book was published. So when I said it to Art and France during the theory training session in October 2007, they paused for a few seconds, reflecting on that, before France answered that it might be true, but it's too general statement. So, in my book, 5 years later, I elaborated on that and transferred that statement into several concrete therapeutic techniques. But this is not the topic of this video, so I won't go into detail with that. Unfortunately, because of some family reasons, I couldn't finish my training in 2007. We all know that a psychotherapeutic intervention can be called different names, and that one popular term can really have different meanings. For example, helping a client express his or her feelings doesn't say too much about what is really going on in a session. In most humanistic therapies, let alone psychodynamic, because they don't even believe in expressing feelings as a therapeutic intervention or a therapeutic goal. In most humanistic therapies, expressing feelings means encouraging the client to show and boost whatever emotion he or she is experiencing at the moment. But in good deep feeling therapy and in primal therapy, expressing one's feelings has more to do with feeling the pain of unsatisfied need. Feeling the pain, this hallmark phrase of primal therapy, is maybe the best and shortest way to describe what therapist is trying to help client to do. But for many clients, it wasn't easy to learn to do, and many clients never learned it to do, and didn't make it in therapy. The phrase feeling the pain can be misleading. I remember after reading The Primal Scream when I was 20, a few colleagues from the college and I tried to amplify our bad emotions and suffer. That's how we were trying to feel the pain. But that was wrong. Feeling the pain at the moment something bad happens to us is one thing. And that is definitely a bad and painful experience. At that moment we suffer from what is happening to us. Insult, loss, guilt, shame, jealousy, fear, and so on. But feeling the pain in therapy as a therapeutic experience is a mixture of suffering because of not fulfilled need and joy because we are still alive. We survived. We accepted what happened to us, and we feel that life, love, and joy in us is bigger and is digesting the pain that was inflicting on us. This is my interpretation. Janov never went into this in detail. When the client feels any of his or her pain the proper way, a small one or a big one, a truly healing process is taking place immediately. The general tension drops down. The whole body feels energized, fluid, connected, as if many fragmented pieces suddenly come together, and it becomes a switch that turns on the healing process in many aspects of our psychophysiological system at the same time. As if everything in our being finally came to its place. Every single connected feeling produces this effect on a smaller or bigger scale, and the process goes on for weeks and months. The most important things for us regarding primal therapy, first, is that Art and some other people close to him had written the blueprint of the causes of neurosis and some psychosis, and explained what needs to happen in one's psyche so that she or he can get rid of psychological and psychosomatic ailments and develop his or her potentials. Second, that this knowledge is open to everyone to study, to train, to try, modify, integrate in his way of helping others and improve further, and finally share it with the world. If you ask me for the most important names in psychotherapy, in chronological order, they are Sigmund Freud, then Wilhelm Reich, then Carl Rogers, and finally Arthur Janov. Thank you.